This is Beer 30 Sports O'Clock. Oh, now that was a mess. Jesus. This episode's beer, this kind of episode is going to be tonight, is Petticola's Brewing Company Irish Goodbye. It is 1 pint, tall boys only. Irish style red ale. It's 6.5%. Looks a little dark, so I'm a little nervous. Not my favorite of Petticola's. Not my favorite. This is a little tangy, almost on the side of a stout, or kind of in that realm. I won't say it is a stout, but it's in that, pushing towards that. I like their other red ale, Velvet Hammer, but this is not that. It's a taste that it's gonna wear you down. First taste or two, you're like, third, fourth, fifth, the rest, you'll be all right. And of course, where I got and get all my beers from. Total Wine, my favorite store to get. Cases, singles, 6-packs, party packs. All of these cans came from Total Wine. And shout out Total Wine. So, yeah. Listen, baseball season is here. And Sunset Lounge and the Frisco Rough Riders are joining forces. And we're giving away tickets. I'm giving away 2 free tickets for the season opener this Friday. So make sure you follow me, leave a comment, tag a friend, and tag the Frisco Rough Riders. And you can follow me at Beer 30 Sports O'Clock on Instagram. And that's where the competition will be. Tag a friend, tag Frisco Rough Riders, and your name will be randomly selected to win your chance to go to the season opener this Friday. So, if you're not following me, yeah, you should be. So now let's get to news you can booze to. And speaking of baseball, as y'all can see, I'm wearing my Yankees shirt. I'm proud. The Yankees are all over the news right now because of their torpedo bats. They absolutely demolished the Brewers, and the MLB and everybody was going crazy trying to figure out what the hell is going on and why are they killing 20, why is it 20-9? Could it be just possibly bad pitching? I mean, could it be just bad team? Excuse me. It's not like they did this against the Padres with one of the best pitchers or the Pirates with one of the best pitchers. I mean, this isn't like a really good team. Anyway, MLB is, since the wild news story all over the place has come out and said the torpedo bats are completely legal, and there are other teams that actually have players using them as well. The Twins, the Rays, some of the other baseball teams out there, and nobody's batted an eye, but it's the Yankees, so of course everybody's gonna talk about it. And especially when you do back-to-back blowouts strictly off winning with offense. I mean, I get it. I guess I get it. I don't know. They killed the Brewers, and yeah, everyone loses their mind. But to be quite frank, Judge doesn't even use one. So there's that. Just saying, for all those that are hating on the Yankees. Now for the NFL. That's right. The NFL just continues to rule the world of media and news, and it's almost time for the draft. So you know what that means. It is now time for the owners' meetings, and apparently it's about to get real. The reason I say that is they're voting on quite a few things here, and there are three main things that I want to focus on because those three main things are very near and dear to my heart, and I feel like those things would change a lot of the game. First off, they are voting on banning the tush push. That's right. It made it to the competition committee to vote on, and they need 24 votes. There are teams that are going to fight for it. There are teams that are going to fight against it. Arguably the Ravens coming out against it or coming out with it, the Rams, and obviously now the Packers. And I know I on the show was kind of upset with it, but once it started getting explained of the possibility of injury and the fact that it's like 80 or 90% effective, it just kind of gives an unfair advantage to people that I feel already have a fucking unfair advantage. They also said that a lot of teams that already do it, there are other teams that do it as well. The Bills was one of the teams, the Ravens were one of the teams, the Niners were one of the teams, and also the Packers were one of the teams as well. But in reality, this is kind of a toss-up because 24 fucking votes is hard to get on anything unless it makes everybody money. Coming from the NFL, it's starting to grow on me. It's one of those, yeah. But yeah, so they're voting to ban it, and I don't know. I'm kind of indifferent, if you will. I'm not embarrassed anymore because now more teams have come out and spoken about it. So I feel like, all right, cool. But I also feel like, listen, it is kind of an unfair advantage because there's certain things you can't do on defense to make them to stop them. But there was, like Mike Wilbon said on PTI, get you a big, heavy 464 fucking defensive lineman, the one that just ran like a 5.8 40-yard dash and was all whatever out of Florida. I think his name was Watson or Watkins or something like that. Get you one of those, like they just grow on trees, and stop them from doing it. A lot easier said than done. I do feel one way, like it is going to be hard to stop that, and it is going to be hard to say, hey, well, this could cause injury. It hasn't really happened. There hasn't been very many reports of injuries from tush pushes, whatever you want to call them, brotherly shoves, whatever the hell. There hasn't been many injuries from those things. Now, my only thing with that is well, then let the defenses jump over the linemen and let the linebackers start jumping and torpedoing, if you will, into the offensive lineman or to the quarterback. And then we'll see if that rule really is going to uphold or stay, whatever the case may be. But it's not fair. On one side of the ball, they get to basically shove the pile and keep the pile moving and push somebody from behind. It's just a lot of moving parts. So I digress. I'm not expecting them to change it. I see both sides of the argument. I was a little embarrassed. It was the fucking Packers that started this. But now, like I said, there's a lot of teams that kind of jump behind it. So here we are. They're also voting on moving the touchback for kickoff from up to the 35-yard line on kickoff. Listen, the kickoff rule is weird. They're trying to do some things to make the kickers more relevant, I guess. I don't know. All I know is that the touchbacks are about to the field is about to get shorter and shorter on touchbacks. When I realistically thought they wanted to get the injuries out of the kickoffs. I wish they would vote on, surprise on the onside kick, but they're not voting on that. They're also, I don't know, I feel like 35-yard line is just too much, man. You only got to go 65 yards with some of these high-powered offenses. 65 yards ain't shit. So it just kind of, I guess it levels the playing field. Again, one of those things where I could play devil's advocate on both sides. But I don't see them changing that. I don't think they should change it, but I could see why they would want that if you want more kickoff returns. Kickoff returns we haven't really paid attention to since the Devin Hesters and things like that. And I guess they're trying to get more special teams, more players for special teams relevant, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I'm just telling you what I hear. Now, this one is a little weird, and I actually like this. Making illegal contact or defensive holding no longer a first down. Listen, as a man who understands that DBs have it extremely hard because the DB has to, 1, guess where you're going, 2, backpedal, 3, fucking still get kind of physical to throw you off the route. And now for them to say, okay, every time you touch somebody and it's illegal contact or defensive holding on the DBs and things like that, automatic first down. That's kind of tough, man. Like, that's really tough, especially for the physical defensive backs out there, the corners that get up on the line and shove and do a little tug and hold. I mean, it's holding. Listen, it is what it is. It's a flag, but it should stop right where the occurrence happened. Shouldn't be an automatic first down, because if it's 1st and 20 or 1st and 30 and you jam him at the whatever, and he beats your jam and you grab a jersey, they shouldn't automatically get a first down, especially if it happened within like 5 yards. That's just crazy. But that's just me, someone who watches the DBs and studies some of these guys on film and seeing how hard that job is, man. That job is every job in football is hard, but that job is extremely fucking hard, especially for the ones that line up, get physical, jam you at the line, and just absolutely it makes it impossible for you to run your route without getting physically fucking manhandled. Listen, I feel like that's a little fair. It's a little level the playing ground for the defensive backs. You know what I'm saying? And the last thing that is very interesting to me, and I know I said we were only do 3, but this last one I was kind of like, it's not that important because I don't think it's gonna really happen. But they're talking about changing the wild card seating. I honestly don't think they will change that, but it brings up a good point. You know what I mean? Like, why the Vikings, who have a better record, why are they going across country to LA? Because LA won their division, but LA had a worse record, and the Falcons, who were 7-9, things like that. Those records that are low, but are those records that are not 500 or better, losing records, but they win their division because their division is shit. It kind of helps out the wild cards, because the wild cards, especially with the NFC North, the way that they were last year, it was 3 teams in the fucking playoffs. Only one can win their division, and you know what I'm saying? Everybody else had to play in wild cards, so meaning they had to travel, meaning they had to play not at home, even though they only lost 3 games, even though they only lost 4 or 5 games, things like that. Whereas the team that lost 7 games, or God forbid 8 games, and things like that, got to play at home. It's just kind of, it's kind of unfair. I see why they would bring that up, but the NFL has a thing about right now it'll probably be docked as like, nah, not yet. But eventually, I think this is something that will change. It's just about timing, and this might not be the time. So, it is what it is. Speaking of time, Dion got an extension, 5 years, $54 million. Shout out to Dion. Congrats. They are making a lot of moves, hiring a lot of ex-players to coach. They just got Marshawn Falk over there. They got somebody else over there that was a wide receiver, I believe, to coach as well. Listen, they are making a lot of moves in Colorado. I don't know if they're going to win the Big 12 because of these moves, because they lost a lot of firepower in this draft between their wide receivers, the Heisman, the quarterback, some of that defensive line. I mean, listen, I can honestly say the Big 12 needs to be put on notice. There's a reason that they extended him for 5 years. There's a reason that he's still in the news and still doing spring games, which, by the way, he wants to have his spring games televised. So, you know how that goes. Now, March Madness is booming, and the Final Four is set for men's. Now, women, currently I'm watching, not watching, but currently I'm looking at USC and UConn. Unfortunately, we all know my girl Juju is out. I don't want to make this about her. I don't want to make this about that. But they're still playing to finalize the Final Four for the women's tournament. But the men's is set, is ready to go. First up is Houston versus Duke. I don't think I have Houston winning the whole thing in one of my brackets, just one. Because I do feel like Houston is always in the mix, and I feel like Houston has been constantly going at it. Eventually, they got to break through. Duke has just looked really fucking good this tournament. I just can't deny it. It's just Duke is just absolutely dismantled most teams. They beat every team double digits or better. I mean, double digits. They just look head and shoulders better above everybody. And it's sickening for me to say, but I do think Cooper Flagg and them are going to get the championship as of right now, which would make my brackets kind of obsolete because I only did 3. And none of the 3 have Duke winning the whole thing. And the one that I'm in competition with, actually, I have Auburn winning the whole thing. Now, that brings me to my next Final Four because Auburn is still in it, baby. It's Florida versus Auburn for the next side of the bracket, or the other 2 of the Final Four. Now, this is scary because Auburn has already lost to Florida. They lost with their big man, Brome, who has been dominating in the tournament, has been going crazy in the tournament, a lot like Cooper Flagg. Got hurt on the last game, got hurt in that last game, and just scared the shit out of everybody, including his parents. But he came back. It was an elbow injury. Doesn't look like there was any real ligament damage. It just looks maybe like a sprain or something like that. A little bit of rest. Excuse me. A little bit of shots. Whatever. I don't know. Whatever. Just rest, and he gonna get through it, and we'll see. Auburn and Duke have looked the best in this tournament, and I think both teams have an opportunity to see each other in the championship. That would be the best outcome to me. Florida hasn't really looked like they should. They haven't dominated everybody. That UConn game on a horrible year for UConn. They barely squeaked by in that game, so I just don't know. I don't know if Florida's going to beat Auburn twice. It's really tough to beat them again. They've been, like I said, they've been balling. They've been playing very good. And I just don't know. I don't know. They've just been outlasting teams. They've been just putting it to teams. Even when they're down, they just continue to figure it out and fight and just go on these runs that just get crazier and crazier and crazier. But I will admit, Florida is a scary matchup for any of them because they beat Auburn, and Duke has beat Auburn as well throughout the year. But Auburn, like I said, has been outlasting people, and it's been fun to watch. So it's anybody's game. Oh my goodness, speaking of game, oh my God. But yeah, so women's, one side of the Final Four is now set. UCLA, UCLA, South Carolina, and Texas. Listen, Texas, I don't know what they do. They play some defensive fucking ball. That was the lowest scoring game I have seen in dumb long. And I'm going to tell you what the score is here and say, let me back up and go. That was such a low scoring game. It was 58-47. And realistically, it was low and close the entire time. Texas just was all over TCU. Van Lith she was the only weapon that they were just I mean, they were crashing down on her, and it was such a physical game. Those of you that like defensive basketball, if you didn't watch that game, yeah, I don't know what to tell you. Yeah, the USC UConn game is at the half, and it's 39-25. So listen, I thought Paige was going to be going crazy. She's been going crazy all tournament. She went absolutely insane last game. So I don't know. We'll see. I don't, no Juju. Everybody's saying no Juju, no problem, but I'm seeing a problem. But we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see. NBA. Listen, NBA is getting chippy as hell. The playoffs are about to start. There's only about 7 or 8 games left. 6 or 7, excuse me, by now. Fights breaking out everywhere. Detroit and Minnesota, then Phoenix and Houston. Man, DiVincenzo ain't been the same since he got traded from the Knicks. I don't know what the fuck he said to who, and I don't know what Nas said to them. And it got crazy. 7 players ejected. 7 players and coaches ejected. Coaches were yelling at each other, and players, kids were literally being sat on by players. No punches were thrown though. So the brawl was very, that is what we've seen from Detroit. Very light. But that brings me to beer goggles of the week. All right, so let's get to it, man. First up, let's just get to it. It's Detroit with the fucking brawl. And this view, I just want to kiss this camera person, whoever this person was, because thank you.
Boy, you not like... Boy, you look, boy.
Is out.
Oh man, yeah. Whoever was holding the camera, he was ready to go. Boy, yeah, he was ready to go. It was by far one of the funniest brawls I have seen. I don't know. Next up, Brooks. Phoenix and Houston, man. Listen, Brooks ain't no chump.
That's pretty good. And Durant fouled by Brooks and then ties him up. And then those two have words, and there's a bit of a shove, and they're going to have to be separated. And now it's going to be Nick Richards getting involved. And Dylan Brooks has just been thrown out of the game, and now he's got to be held back from Justin Van Dyne, the official. He has just been tossed from the game. That escalated quickly.
Again, you see him wrap up. That's part of it. Dylan didn't want to let go. Katie pushes him off. He's smiling. Now Richards kind of escalates it, and he's walking off. And then the officials look at him and toss Dylan. And
it must have been something that he said. As you saw there, he was walking off. He said something towards Justin Van Dyne, and
announcer was being nice. I know you know exactly what he said. He said, "Fuck you, bitch," or some shit like that. Something to that extent, and he got tossed right after that. Mulkey has been in the news. Mulkey my dog. I don't care what nobody say. I like Mulkey. I had this conversation with my guest beforehand. I really like Mulkey. I think she's a good coach. 2, she's funny as hell. But this side eye is out of pocket. That side eye was straight out of pocket. I know it was a short ass clip, but I'm just saying. And People been going kind of crazy about this presser, but she don't take no disrespect. I'm not mad at it.
It's the second straight year you guys get eliminated in the Elite Eight. Just yeah.
Is that terrible or is that good?
Terrible.
Is it? How many Final Fours you play in?
None.
So it's probably pretty good, huh?
Yeah.
All right.
She don't take no disrespect, okay? Don't come for her team. She don't take no disrespect, and I gotta respect it. Listen, you say some shit like that, you better be ready to take the clap back. You know what I'm saying? So, anyway, that was the Beer Goggles of the Week, and now it's time for the 6-pack of the week. All right, man. So this was not during the side eye, but Flo J with the shifty moves.
And Hockey is able to save it just momentarily. Flaucher goes behind the back. Rice hits the deck. Johnson vacated, but still finishes. Wow,
What a move. What a move. What a move. I hope I said her name right, because Lord have mercy, because people be fucking up their names, so I don't want to be one of those guys. But next up is a Luka LeBron connect that looks very, very strangely familiar.
Jaren Jackson Jr. in foul trouble.
You are absolutely correct with 3. Lakers steal. Here they come. Luke in the middle. Back to LeBron! Look out! Throw it down!
Crowd on their feet as Luka with the little behind the back pass and LeBron with the big time finish. Nice transition basketball by the Lakers.
If you don't know what I'm talking about as far as looking familiar, Wade and LeBron had a similar situation, and the picture that came about, yeah, it looked very, 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 very similar. Phoenix and Houston, man. This game, Brooks was out of the game, and they were still cooking the shit out of Phoenix. KD was also cooked.
It has been, and my goodness, man, how good is Kevin Durant?
Oh, how good is Cement Thompson?
Oh, I almost said even better.
He was better at that moment. He was better at that moment. Oh, my God. And then, speaking of Houston, this play will go down in Houston college history.
For a spot in the Elite Eight. Uzan gets it in, gets it back, and he puts it in! What a play! And now the officials will stop the clock.
Hey, that was a hell of a play. Game winner. Hell of a play. Game winner. Paige, like I said, she been going crazy. She been going absolutely crazy. And it was only after her coach said something to her.
There's times when she has the ball and the defense they know she's not going to shoot it. And I'm thinking, shoot it. You know, you're open. And, so hopefully in the fourth quarter, she'll just, I don't know. Maybe you should talk to her.
Thank you.
Well, she's done the I don't know in the fourth quarter. She's since the first quarter, which went 2 for 5. Beckers twisting into 2. Plus the foul. Mulkey. Beckers back to work. Beckers again. Here's Beckers using the screen. Beckers another 30-piece for Paige buckets. As the number 1 overall pick. Thought to Beckers. Why not? She got it. Gives it up, gets it back, Beckers 3, you bet! It's a new career high for Paige Beckers. Player with 1. Beckers has another. Boy, this was Strong. Bounces out, Strong gives it back. It's a 4
dropped 40. After her coach said something to her, yo, she went crazy. Ooh. Speaking of crazy, the thing that had the entire baseball world going crazy, Yankees and their bats.
Does he have any new tricks for the Yankees? Goldschmidt swings at the first pitch and lofts it to left center field and deep. Mitchell back, track, wall, see ya! In 67 games, Bellinger lost one deep to right center. There it goes into the bleachers. See ya! Back to back. It is 2-0 Yanks. That one's driven deep to left field. There it goes. See ya! Back to back to back. 3-0 Yankees.
Yeah, they was dropping bombs. They was dropping bombs. 3 in a row, baby. 3 in a row. Oh, and that was the 6-pack of the week. Oh, now let's get into the conversations at the keg. Listen, everyone is talking about LSU and their pressers, and how, you know, Mulkey and all this stuff like that. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm here for it. I'm here for them, you know, I'm here for this, all of this energy, all of it.
The spokesman review. Anisha, I am sure the name Lauren Betts has come up in the scout for tomorrow. Tell me, how do you guys attempt to corral her, contain her?
My name is Anissa. Yeah. We've been paying attention to our scout and our detail, and we know that Lauren is a great player and a post player. Being able to be as active as she is and being that big post presence in the inside, we know that we'll be up for a challenge, but we're ready.
Listen, I don't see anything wrong with what she did. They announced them when they first walk in. If you've ever been to a press conference, some of you have not, I understand. But those that come into the press conference, when in the beginning, we have players such and such, and they announced all 3 of them. Anissa, like, it was probably like 10 or 20 seconds before that question. And on top of that, he got Lauren Betts' name perfectly right. No, he did not stutter. I don't know if it was nerves in the beginning, but he didn't stutter throughout that whole question. So I don't really know why everybody's upset about it. Listen, did she have an attitude? Yes. But as a reporter / journalist, you should know how to pronounce the name of the person you want to interview or the person you're interviewing. I mess up names all the time. Listen, all the damn time. But not on interviews. I refuse to look like a fool on interviews. On my show, I don't really care. I play as fuck up. But on my show, that's different. But if I'm interviewing that person or I'm at a press conference, I'm going to get that person's name correct so that they don't think about, they can't think about the question you're asking if they're already fucking in a bad mood. You're not going to get a good answer. You're going to get a fucking attitude and a fucking, short, sweet, fucking not a good answer. Listen, if he would have said, "Excuse me, I'm sorry, Anissa," and you know what I'm saying, let her finish the conversation, you know what I mean? But I'm sure he took it as an insult that she would, but my thing is, now, I played on Beer Goggles Mulkey's response to at her presser for losing when she lost, and there were some people that felt that she was being disrespectful. She asked the guy a question. He said it was terrible. Terrible isn't the word I would have used in that situation. I would have been like, that's not what you expect as a coach. Or I would have been like, that's not something that, I don't know, you tell me. I would have kind of played it back and forth a little more, or maybe, tried to get her to give me more, but like to just say terrible after a coach just lost, and you want her, because she's supposed to be the professional, you want her to not clap back? Nah. I'm sorry. I don't see anything wrong with what she did, what she said, especially with reporters, because some of us, media members, I count myself in that, reporters, journalists, things like that, we ain't never even touched the ball as professional or college or hell, even high school. So my thing is like, you can't clap at them and not expect to clap back. And I'm not saying Mulkey's some fucking athletic ass person, but she's coaching women that are athletic as hell, and she has done good deep runs in the March Madness tournaments, and there's nothing, I don't see anything wrong with what she said. Now, I think a lot of people, I don't know. I think a lot of people hype that whole situation, and I also think that people overhype the presser with Anissa. Listen, my name is my name. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing I got in this world. My word and my name. You know what I'm saying? My name is my name, and if you know that line, you know. So I don't know. Like I said, I didn't see anything wrong with it. A lot of people, it was rubbed them the wrong way. You know, oh, she had an attitude. You shouldn't have these hard spelling names, as if she can control that. But also, again, she was introduced to the crowd, and the crowd, if you don't know how to say the name, then you should have just asked that question to all three. Say, so Lauren Betts, have y'all looked at the scouting report on her, blah, blah, blah. What are y'all's thoughts on, this? Leave it at all three. Listen, rather safe than sorry, my boy. But now you're viral over something, and it's just, I think that Mulkey, she handled that. I think like most male coaches would have handled a tough loss as well. We didn't say anything when coaches were slamming, and what's his name from Oklahoma State, Mike Gunn, when these are kids, and he went viral and all that. But a lot of people were happy about that. Oh yeah, that's right, these are kids and blah blah blah. Everybody was cool with that, but Mulkey pats a little homie on the butt like, don't ever tell me my run in this tournament is terrible when we made it to the Elite Eight. That's insane. You can't do that. That's not for you to do. That's for me to say it's terrible, not for you. You can write it, but to say it, you gotta deal with the repercussions that come. And that's fair. That's the world that's fair. That's the world you should live in. Now, ESPN had something to say about it, and I don't really know. You be the judge. I think this was, I don't know. Listen, you be the judge. I'm gonna wait.
That you just said, I'm not going to take away from the fact that Kim Mulkey is a great coach and an established coach. We just need to finally say this about her. She's very rude. She's very rude. She's very, very rude.
Yes, very condescending.
I mean, she's rude, she's condescending, and unnecessarily so to too many people. But it's always with the right one. See, she don't go up to the wrong ones like that. You see what I'm saying? It's almost like she knows, Shannon, who to do that to and who not to do that to. Because certain people you do that to, they're going to clap back at you. But she is a phenomenal coach, one of the best ever. But she's just a very, very rude person.
Yeah, she's a great coach.
Yes.
I disagree. I agree with the she's a great coach line, but I disagree that she's rude. I do think that she has some great fucking clapbacks. I do think that she doesn't let the media just talk to her any kind of way. And I also disagree with who she picks to do this with. I have seen her clap back at many of people, whether it be sideline reporters, whether it be, she just, listen, she be in the zone, she's from Louisiana, she got a little concrete to her. Ain't nothing wrong with that. I honestly feel like, Stephen A., you might want to sit this one out. You're still recovering from the ass whooping you and LeBron had to go. And I'm just saying, the fiasco with Bron and Bronny, just relax, Steven. Relax. And Shannon, I heard you co-signing. Relax. Relax. I just don't think it was that serious. I don't think you can judge coaches or players, for that matter, after pressers winning or losing, because the simple fact is their emotions are high. They just put all their blood, sweat, and tears all on the court or field and things like that. And if you think that, oh, they're rude because you've only got an opportunity to talk to them after a super high and stressful emotional state, that's unfair. Because if we talk to you after an emotional state or a stressed out state, I guarantee we're not going to like you either. So it is what it is. These people are human, and mispronouncing names and asking or telling them that they're run deep in a tournament is terrible. We got to do better, media. We got to do better. But I'm off my high horse. So thank you for watching. Those of you that joined in the bracket, man, it's down to the wire. Yes, I'm still in first place. Excuse me. But that doesn't mean you can't win, because if Auburn gets smacked by Florida, I'm pretty much screwed. And if Duke gets smacked by Houston, I'm also screwed. But yeah, so listen, thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for watching. This is Beer 30 Sports O'Clock. We dropping torpedoes.
This is a Stolen Water Media production.